Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Nikolai, and this is a review of Evil West. Did you guys notice something? In the year of 2022, there were so many games with the word West in it. Forbidden West, Weird West, Wild West, Evil West. Probably the next one will be Rotten West. Hence, till that time, we have to take a look at Evil West, which came out in 2022 and not the best time. God of War Ragnarok was around the corner, and all major attention on Twitch and game news was attached to Sony's exclusive. But I did notice Evil West. It looked more unique to me, with an interesting setting, brutal dialogues, and many more things. And personally, this game is much better than the recent God of War. Our main protagonist, Jesse Rentier, is the agent of an old organization that called themselves an institution, where other agents were hunting down different creatures, monsters, and mostly vampires. The whole story is a very dynamic roller coaster with some interesting drama and scenario in it. We are meeting very bright characters, learning interesting things about our world through notes and recordings, gathering info about monsters, and just enjoying the uniqueness of this game universe. Of course, we can link some things between God of War of 2018 to this game and say that there are many similar tricks regarding the story and especially the game mechanics. But the difference that Evil West is having is that it took the best things from this game and implemented in their project properly, instead of wasting all ideas and making stupid puzzles with letters like in Ragnarok. Evil West is having ideal structure for me. There is no open world. It is a linear adventure that is not requiring our player to navigate through complex world, listen to the whinings of our son, then our friends, then some silly gods, then dwarves, then giants. Yeah, I really hate new God of War. As I mentioned before, the game is very similar to the God of War of 2018. We have the main hub in the game, which will change to Calico Town, where our hero gonna constantly return for new tasks and different upgrades for our gauntlet, guns, and some other stuff. It is a linear game, and sometimes I felt a little bit of routine when you coming back from a tough mission and have to run across the entire institute in order to gather cash because you need upgrades. But trust me, this is the only con that I found in the entire game. There will be no more cons for me. Seriously. The whole game is balanced pretty well. There is a total of 4 difficulties. I played on the standard difficulty, which was the second. This difficulty was explained to me as the developer's difficulty. Well, if developers suggested this one and wanted me to play the first playthrough on it, then let us go. And damn, I was right. The fights were ideal. Not long and not fast, not hard and not easy. Some enemies can one-shot you, and some can make your palms sweaty as a little piggy. I was using every single ability, which is very rare in my case, to fight my way till the end. Absolutely not aggressive secret hunting. You can find every single treasure in one run and gather all necessary upgrades without doing backtracking. Yes, God of War, I'm talking about you, buddy. There are sometimes the puzzles, but they are very chill and mellow, and it won't be hard for anyone to solve them. Very good, and I would say smooth implementation of those different activities. Battles are mostly fast-paced, and the puzzles are not a drag, so I just couldn't receive any better content. Bravo! The system of upgrades is looking like a perk tree, where open leveling up, we are receiving a point that we can spend on upgrade the gauntlet. Badass electric thingy that does a lot of stuff is cool. Combat moves, buffs, and many other things. We also can upgrade the guns, but for that we need to spend the cash that is found across the levels and receive upon leveling up. However, without a level, you cannot upgrade some guns further. So this is where the great balance comes. You cannot overpower your character by mistake or drag yourself into the abyss of eternal misery where the lack of upgrades or levels are happening constantly. The developers knew how to structure every possible build or strategy that players might think to develop. It can be strictly close combat, or only long-range fights, but all those styles get mixed together anyway, so it still leaves you not that much space to improvise. I did mostly long-range weapon upgrades, and I cannot say that it was a proper decision at some point of the game. As I mentioned before, the mechanics are very similar to God of War 2018, but with obvious improvements and logical developments. We are having two different dodges, short and long one, that has to be combined together depending on the enemy. Health can be restored during the combat, but after the end of the combat, it restores by itself. We have a mechanic of final blow, and after performing the last hit on the enemy, we recover some small amount of health points. Boss fights are performed as the old school panners, where we have to destroy one part of the boss and then sustain some amount of damage and time to go to the second stage of the boss. Definitely, guys, I can go even deeper into game mechanics and gameplay, but I don't think so it's necessary because you can see how many interesting ideas and very cool innovations in that genre has been appeared in Evil West. It's super cool, it's super fast paced, you won't get bored at all. In conclusion, I can say that this is one of the most underestimated games of 2022. I don't see any single reason to hate this game or call it a cheap copycat of the titans of the gaming industry. Yes, there are problems, but they're completely different from the problems that God of War is having. This game is not about the drama or some serious decisions that will lead player to nowhere. This game is about good game design, fun story, interesting characters, and solid optimization. Thank you very much for watching it till the very end. Please join the channel, subscribe on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. In the description down below will be playlist with multiple other games. Press like, put comment, and I'll definitely see you next time.